Good evening, folks, and welcome back. Sorry I've been so long doing a video. Been sort of hanging back a bit, really. I did wonder after the secret, the H and the revealing of the H seal and everything that goes with it. If I I wasn't even sure where I was to go next, but having had a just to show you how this works. One place there's been an enigma for me doing, with sort of decoding, and like I say, I only get these things are just so incredibly timed. It's untrue, because one place just up the road, 5 miles from me, is a place called Chepstow. This video is going to be heavily done on place names, but it'll all make sense when I do it. But the first thing, when I see Chepstow, I couldn't work it out for love of the money. It's there's just nothing. I thought maybe C, B, Stow, and the P might turn to a B, but it's not. And it was timed, especially for this moment where I found the H, put it out there. Is it the absolute video that I don't need to follow up, or might not have anything to follow up? I don't know. Clearly not, because this says CH, we stop. So I thought it was quite amusing, and I know just to put the question mark on there. So CH, we stop. This questioning, what am I doing? Is it, this is how clever this whole thing works. And these are the timings, like I say, the timing and the trigger. I've done a lot of the place names where I live, but as I say, they just come up as and when they're supposed to. And there we are. CH, we stop. That's a question. So, okay, I said, okay, well, where do we go? Where do we go next? The main focus. Right, firstly, just as a quick recap, because this is quite relevant for this. I just want to, my neighbour Matthew Smith, if you're watching, in answer to your question in the comments, what do I know about the Pleiades and Orion? Well, I know little about where stars are or where they sit, and all I know is there's some sort of template that's to be pulled from these. And just as a recap, so it was a good job you said this, again, probably meant to be. I'll just remind that, and because this one is heavily orientated around this, that you've got the Masonic, I say Masonic symbolism, I'm not sure exactly whether they know what it means or not, but just as a reminder, you've got two pillars like this, roughly. You've got, I don't know, one with the Earth on it, or the planet, whatever it is, and the other one you've got all stars in the heavens on it. Okay, so you've got again, this is ancient symbology, like I say. Whether they know what it means or not, I don't know. Maybe they got their own take on it, or I think they know a little bit more. Well, they do. They know a lot more than they're letting on. But you've effectively got an awful picture of the sun with a face on it. You've got, I'm not sure if it's a half moon or whatever, but you've got the moon, and then you've got, in fact, I'm going to move the moon into the middle because this is where it should be. Then you've got the moon, and then you've got 7 little stars up here somewhere. Okay, and again, I've just got to run through this. It's just a rerun of the Solomon symbology. Right, okay. Inside there, although they don't show it, but you've got a Masonic arch, which happens to have the symbol of Cancer. Okay, well, just to translate this quickly, you've got the sun and the moon sign in Cancer. So if somebody who's born in Cancer, well, I'm born in Cancer. You've got 7 stars. These are the 7 sisters. The Pleiades is Please-I, which is an anagram of Please-I-D. So Please-I-D, the sun of the moon sign, born in Cancer, who will indeed connect the Earth, the stars, the constellations, and then obviously with this you've got the constellation of Cancer. That's the exact. It's basically a letter Y, and this shows you where Solomon's safe zone is as well. The Cancer, the crab. That's a better version. Basically, once you turn it, you get 6 and 9. 6 is the tribe of Gad, or the lost tribe of Gad, and 9 is the lost tribe of Simeon. Well, this is a simple puzzle. I say simple, it's only simple when you know how, but it's G-add, and that's, I don't know if you can see it, it's me, basically in S-I-N, O-N, S-I-O-N, so you've got me, hang on, let's just do that again. Right, you've got S-I, little me, and O-N. This is the tribe. These are the tribes. So that's tribe number 6. Gad, 9 is Simeon. So it's G-add. So G-add, but it's G-add in G-Rus, because that's the start, one of the stars and one of the key things I'm going to show you today. And obviously it's me in Sion being a Siluri. So it's G-add, G-Rus and the Siluris basically, or the Israels as they're known in the, or coded in the Bible. Okay, so basically, this is what I'm showing this because this orientates around what I'm what I'm about to show you. Okay, so if we move on from that, it's difficult to know where to go next. I think we'll go right. Okay, yeah, just to show you. Oh, yeah. Okay, just to show you how again clever this is. Now it all connects. This one's going off the track a little bit of where it is, but it all connects together. But in North Wales, you've got these 3 place names together. This one's actually, I believe, mentioned. Pretty sure it is mentioned in the Old Testament. Bethesda. Crikey. These are the Welsh ones. Now, you'll know why a lot of these things are down where I work in the west, sort of down in the south in the West Country, because obviously trying to work these out sometimes. Okay, and let cheered. Okay, so we've got these 3 places, all in pretty much in a line. They're all in the same strip. And these ones translate just to show there's no coincidence, and this connects as well because the Cancer obviously is Lamellin as well. That's the centre of that's where the key is, the key fort, which is just up the road from G-Rus, and the original home of the Siluris. So we've got Bethesda adds the okay, this comes in great timing as well with what I've just spoken to you, what I've just showed you. Right, the next one. Well, adds be the what? Well, I crab H melon. So there you got the 4 land melon. Sometimes it's spelled with a Y, sometimes it's spelled with an I. It's just a Welsh thing with the Y. But you've clearly got I crab. H is the H man in melon, or melon is land melon. The key fort in the centre of the combined nation safe code, which will become well, the biggest message in this is about that. So although we're going to travel and bounce around quite a lot to get to it. Okay, the last one as well, which is in the line, is Lead Hill. And this one actually is brilliant because this one actually uses the word clan instead of clan, even though it's got the clan there. The letters are made up of C-L-A-N, Lead Hill Clan, which is superb because that really puts the clan in the clan, if that makes sense. what they did was put churches on top of the clans, so to hide the tribes and all the things to do with the tribes. They basically changed the word for clan to clan, and then built churches on it, and say the Welsh word for a church is now clan. Well, it's not, because it's got a hidden code underneath it, whether they know it or well, they don't know it, or they don't know. But either way, so you've got ads, as I just showed you, the camp, this is all the crab is cancer, is the crab, obviously. So ads be the whatever, and then he's saying I crab H melon. Well, I'm the one of the moon sign born in Cancer the crab. The crab is the one that connects up the land and the stars, which we'll be coming to now just shortly. And then Clan Lechlin or whatever, Lead Hill Clan. Okay, so we've got a good start there. And just bear in mind, of all the number of places in Britain, and I just find these just, well, I don't look for them. I look at odd now and again, but unless I'm meant to see something, I won't see it. Like Chepstow, that's a big prime example. I've seen that one, and obviously I've known that. I went to school there, but I've never, even through all this time, a year and a half later, I suddenly realised at the right moment that what that means, and it's all part of the timing and the trigger to show you that this is live, really. Okay, so that covers those three little places, those 3 places up North Wales. Okay, there's quite a lot more, but I'll be all day if I don't. Right, what we're going to do. Right, okay, where do I go with this one? Right, let's go with the bad news first. Okay, following again on from last week. I don't know if you've seen the video, basically with the a few weeks ago actually, but you see the video with the sacrament. It's written in Sacramento, and you get this code. So it's sacrament. I don't know whether this should have the. Yeah, I think this should have that, but it's basically Sacramento, basically California. Oh, like I say, the reason that these places are spread all over the world, and why these messages, because it just puts it beyond chance that I happen to be able to find these places so quickly and easily, and it's just a way of letting you know that. I mean, there's there's got to be millions, I don't know how many places there are in the world, actual places. But I just come across these, I just get the nod as such to go there, whatever you want to call it. The word just, I don't even know how I do it. It just happens. But anyway, now we're going to reverse it. Sacrament. And at the time of writing this, the initial time, as you would have probably noticed, I spotted something in it. But basically, a sacrament is a sign between God and man, basically, or God and man, to say that it's, I don't know, it's a sign between God and man, whatever that actually means. And I've missed something there. Sacrament. Okay. So, right, Sacramento is basically sacrament. Sacrament, like I say, when you look at it, not the Catholic version or the lies that there's this they've tried to bury everything with, but a sacrament is a sign between God, well, Yah and man, effectively. This then, when you anagram this, it says Sacramento, whichever way you want to do it, it says sent a Marco. Unbelievably, but it does. Okay, so Santa Marco, so I basically, there's a sign between, well, I guess it's becoming obvious that I am the sign between, I don't know, the connection, the arc. This is where the information's coming from. Okay, first thing I noted, and I didn't spot it until I was doing the video last time, but I didn't see the full code in this, but I've seen it since. Maybe it's good to repeat it, is the SOS. Okay, there's a reason for this SOS, because this is going to, there's the second part of this. Right, okay, first we got and then we break off this segment. We've got ARC, we've got the arc, which is to connect. Okay. Got the Ark to connect, the Cas, C-A-S, right, the Cas are the tribe of Sodom and Gomorrah. They're one of the tribes, the Cassi. If you've seen my Sodom and Gomorrah decode, it's also written in the land because you thought, again, just as a reminder, you've got three places. You've actually got Sodom that exists, it's in North Wales. You've got Horeb, there's about 3 or 4 of them, take your pick. Both names are mentioned in the Old Testament as well. There's places you can pull them up if you search on an app. Sodom, Horeb, and then you have Mega. And again, these make another spear go through the eye of Horus, and you'll have to go back. But what this basically, when you put this together, it says be Sodom and Gomorrah. I can't remember the spell, is it M-O-R, but either way, whatever it is, it comes exactly to say be Sodom and Gomorrah. So Sodom and Gomorrah, the spear then, or that shows the area, basically, it shows the area in and around Newport, which is the Cas, the tribe of the Cassi, the Cas and the Yiska. It's also the tribe of Isaac, or Issachar. But basically it's Sodom, and there's a reason for this, and this is why there's an SOS here. Okay, the last one is 10. Now, automatically I said 10 tribes, because obviously it all relates to the 10 tribes. The Cas are the 5th, these are the 10th. But the 10th tribe is actually, is Reuben. Now, the significance of this with the SOS is that Reuben is also the Beru, which is on my TikTok line. The time ticking, again, you'd have to go back and check that, but Reuben is Nibiru. This spelling of Nibiru, you won't find it if you put, is it right? Nibiru, yeah. You won't, this is a Babylonian spelling. They've obviously translated it, but if you Wikipedia it, put the word, you'd have to put in Nibiru. It's the planet, the crossing, basically, Nibiru. That's what you'd have to search, but if you look under Wikipedia, you'll see this name come up, and that's exactly what it is. It's the 10th tribe. It's also known as Planet X, which is, Reuben is the 10th tribe, 10 is X in Roman numeral. Nibiru is Planet X, and I've also got given the thing that they're binary twins, but they're twins that bind. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, because the Reuben are the attribates as well. Nibiru is a rogue planet, so the rogue and the attribate, they all connect together. Okay, so within this, and then you've got AM10, Arment, A Marco. So it's just, this is just a complete coded set of words which give you the SOS, but it also tells me to connect Sodom and Reuben or Nibiru. Well, Sodom is destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Nibiru is, I'm afraid, the fiery planet that's heading towards us, and that's what this really all ends. However, before that, yeah, let's do that one next, just to let you know that written is what they're planning to do. These people know what is coming. Make no bones about it. There is no climate change is being caused because of this planet getting closer. It doesn't hit the Earth. It passes it. It causes chaos when it passes. It's been before. It's also called the dragon, and I think it's the dragon to take out the dragon. Again, an eye for an eye. The dragon sits on wheels. We'll free it. Okay, where are we? Right, okay, so written in the land, just under with the ticking top line, Tickenham in Bristol, Tockenham in Swindon, and you follow it along. You've got Sutton Benga, or Benja, I think they pronounce it, which is Nibiru, double TT, Nibiru, Time Trigger, and Sun. Well, there's Sun or Sun, because this is the binary twins, but it's telling you that that's what's coming. But before you get there, closer to Bristol, you have two places in a row. One is called Wraxall. Okay, the first one is called Wraxall, and the second one is called. And these go one sort of sits here, one sits here. They're practically they are next to each other, and the second one is called Feyland. Okay. Well, the plan is And this is what they intend to do. They know this planet's coming. As it gets closer, they're already starting this, but they have full intention to start a WAR and X all. This is written in the timeline on this map, just to show you how this map works with prophecy. That's the plan, to start a war, WAR X all. That's what the plan is. The good news is, the place next to it is called fail land, which is when you switch the and to the front, you get and fail. In other words, they've started the war and they're going to try and X all, but ultimately they are not going to X all, because the whole thing of this is, like I say, is to lead you to the safe code again, which, you know, the place of safety, which is between, well, anywhere around Llanmelin and Caerwent, which is where I live. Yeah, but this is also, we're coming to this as well with something else that's been revealed in place names. Okay, but for the next bit, we need to go, right. Right, okay. Right, the Bible passage that is relevant to all this, which happens to be Job 9:9, not Job 9:9, but Job 9:9. 9 is the Siluri, me in Sion. So, okay, so I'm the one that's supposed to unravel this. But we have Job 9:9, which maketh Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades, and the chambers of the south. Okay, well, we make it, right, obviously, I don't make, well, I certainly didn't make any of this, but obviously Yah did, so that's the first straight answer, is the creator created all these things, put all these names in place, and obviously all I'm doing is just being a vessel to decode them, and he's using me to show you what they all mean. Well, which makes Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades. Right, well, we did it with used the Grey Hill, which is a standing stone circle on a hill near Caerwent. Then you've got Llanmelin Hill Fort, then you've got Caerwent. Okay, what you do is you connect these up. That gives you, what it effectively gives you is the basics of a bow. But this is where Arcturus is coded in, because it's, I actually did this wrong last time. It's Arcturus. So you Arcturus. So what he said is, instead of having it like this shape, it's basically just to arc it. There's your Arcturus, because this is Caerwent, which is G-Rus. Okay, decoded G-Rus, which we'll be looking at. Well, the chambers of the south really start to identify G-Rus anyway, and a few other things with it. Okay. Right, okay, if you take this as well, you go down, you've got a place called Carrow Hill, which is Sea Arrow Hill, or Arrow Sea Hill, whichever, but it's the Sea Arrow Hill. In among the middle, you've got Llanfair Discoid. Llanfair is code, this connects to the Pharaohs, and this makes this Orion, so this makes this Orion's bow. So you've got this, this is your Arcturus. And this is your Orion's bow. It also says, canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades or loose the bands of Orion? Well, the unicorn being next to this, but I'll come to that because that's going to show up in this decode as well, and which is based on Park Seymour and Monoceros, the unicorn mon, funny enough, the biblical unicorn mon. Okay, so basically you draw a line off there, and what this does, this hits Mablethorpe, which is Amel, be the rope. Again, the Pleiades is Please ID, and all the names in the Pleiades are actually like identification to things to what's the word, to bind the sweet influences. Well, you're binding them with a rope as well, binding them with a rope, because you've got me rope and sterope. There's two of the main stars I've been through this one, but this all ties to Cassiopeia, which is over here, which is a rope which goes from Orion's belt is rope, by the way, but that's another thing anyway. And we've got sterope, which is set rope. Okay, and there's a reason for all of this, but effectively, this would be the area of MLB, the rope, I think it is, or something along them lines. That's Mablethorpe. That's Mablethorpe, which is the Pleiades, which is an anagram of please ID. So it's telling you to please ID, MLB the rope, and then you got me rope, set rope, and there's a few others in there, including Atlas, incidentally, which is obviously everything we're doing is on the Atlas. So this shows how all this connects. Right, right now, the full passage says, which maketh Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades. So we Arcturus, Orion, and we've got the Pleiades, and the chambers of the south. Now, what does he mean about the chambers of the south? Well, the chambers, you can't, I don't know how you can connect chambers with the stars, but I do know how you connect them to the south on the land. All right, and this is where these have all started to become apparent. Right, again, there's a second enigma, another one that I couldn't see for love nor money, but I knew it had relevance, but obviously the time must be right to do it. And it actually completes a message. Okay, well, it's right. First thing, who does it? Well, the first thing that I know I've got to point out, because the chambers of the south are basically population centres. This is, I don't know, this is Wales, this is the west, however it works. Here's G Roos, this is where the bow is effectively. Aiming, shooting up over there, and you've got all the Unicorn and Cassiopeia. But the chambers to the south are actually population centres for, well, this is not exactly where they are, obviously, but they're population centres in the south. Now, this is what they are. And I've realised, and this is full of messages that all connect to this as well, which is unbelievable and done in such a clever way. Right, where do I start? Okay, so who makes them? Well, firstly, I'm going to point out there's a place called Yeovil. Right, hang on, Yeovil is you. You live, right? Okay, you live, whatever. But that one basically is telling you that this is all basically all this. Is the one that does it is the well, he is the why as well. Oh, why live? But he's the living God, basically, and that's the message in this is that to point out that the one and true living God, basically, is behind all of this, and he's the one that's put it together. And even though this is all done through a tetragram, he's already spoken it. He really is alive and well. But he's also telling me I'm live as well, live doing this. But okay, and that ties nicely with the next one. Right, these are in a row. Right, we've got Fro, which I ended up working unusually for the other day, which was ironic. But that usually tells me that something else is coming from it. And on my way back from there, on getting that, I actually got this one as well. And this is the one that's really been bugging me because I couldn't work it out for love and money. Okay, well, I do try sometimes and just give up on it. But Trowbridge. Okay, then we've got devices, and we've already said what this one is, but we'll see how this connects now. Okay, so you can use your live. So you've got live. This is for me. For me. Now this next part is so clever because the word G-Roos, you can put the word G-Roos into things, and you can pull it out. But this actually gives you G-Roos in like a cryptic form, which is why I could not see it for love nor money. But what it is WROTE. My pen's running out. Bear with me, guys. I think we're going green. Hang on, let's just boost them up a bit. So Frome is for me. Trowbridge is wrote. G Bird. Okay, the last one I'll do before I explain that is devices is C vids. Okay, what does he mean by the G Bird? Well, this all links back, this is the chambers of the south, back to G Roos, where you are to Roos. because the G-bird, G-roost, is the crane. So you've got the G-bird is G-roost the crane. It's the constellation that makes G-roost the crane. G-roost is the constellation that obviously makes the Jerusalem. All I do is you just anagram the Silurum, the Roman name, which gives you the and then you just overlay it with the G-roost of the constellation, gives you Jerusalem. So he wrote to G-bird, C vid. So we say, oh, okay, for me, he wrote in the plan the G-bird code for Jerusalem, basically, and see the vids to find out what every other code that comes from the word Jerusalem. So from Trowbridge Devices, for me, wrote G-bird, Jerusalem, see vids. That's pretty pretty clever. Right, okay, that's very clever, and it's not a human that's done this by any stretch. This is done by the creator. Man could not have put any of this there, and I shouldn't be able to find it. This shouldn't make any sense whatsoever. However, it doesn't end there. Just to show you that this works as well, we've also got in the chambers of the south. Where are you? Bridge. Notice there's no E in Bridgewater. I've noticed that, which means something else. So what you've got is sorry, let's do it in the right order. So what Bridgewater is, and this is again another clue for the same thing as what Trowbridge is, to show this is not just all about G-roost coming out as a word. With this one, you've got bird, you've got water bird, G, which is again the same thing. It's well, obviously the crane is a water bird, so you've got the water bird being G-roost. It's G-roost the crane. Again, this all comes back, and this is identifying and connecting back to Arcturus, the Orion's bow, and all part of the job 9 and 9, Silurum and Sion. Okay, so just to show you that one there. Right, okay, let's have a look. Right, now, this is clever as well. Right, okay, right, this is going to take us to a message, and then, right, okay, to start with, where do I go? We will go, okay, we will go. Right, again, over in the chambers of the south, we have got, amazingly, it's almost like a mirror image of clues on one side of the water and clues on the earth, to match the clues on the other side, but the chambers of the south. Okay, so in these chambers, these population centres, we've got two that are right by each other. We've got King's Seymour. Oh, sorry, it's Kingston Seymour. Bear with me. We've got Kingston Seymour. Okay, Kingston Seymour, and just, I believe it's just below it is Congressbury. Okay, so what on earth could these have to do, basically, with the other side of the water? Well, they're both coded. Again, these are the chambers of the south, and these are near Bridgewater as well, incidentally, so that's obviously part, to some degree, part of this as well. Well, Kingston Seymour is into Monmouthshire, but more specifically, part of it, into Mon, G-roost Keys. Okay, well, on the other side of the, well, obviously on the other side, in Mon, we have Chemies Inferior. Okay, there's a reason for going the long way around this. and this is me keys inferior. So they're me keys inferior. I've already decoded these, but you'll see how this all connects now. Me keys inferior. These are lesser keys of Solomon's Kingdom, basically. They're me keys. They're for me. Right, okay. Right, Congress Berry, or Congress Brie, or whatever you pronounce it, is recon by G. Roos. Okay, so we obviously know where G. Roos is, but what do we recon by G. Roos? Well, the clue is here. It's written in C more, because just down from Kenny, this is Kenny's commander here. You've got the Cauldron around about there, which is Draco, but then you've got Note Slang, Langstone, and then you've got Park Seymour, which is there. G. Roos is over here. So obviously we go into Mon, G. Roos keys. Well, here's the keys. These are the keys in there. They're me keys inferior. That's that one. This is Note Slang, and this is Park Seymour, which is where this comes in. And this is obviously recon by G. Roos, because it's not a million miles, about 5 miles up the road. Park Seymour, which happens to say, yep, Marco Roos, tying the two together. As well as that, right, and now I know when we get the word recon points straight away to Park Seymour. Right, I'm going to have to pull this apart a little bit, but you can clearly see that Intermon G. Roos keys. Kingston Seymour, me keys inferior, Kenny's commander, or Kenny's inferior, sorry. Then you've obviously got the Kingston Seymour, well, you've got the Park Seymour, and then we've got, and that translates to get Marco Roos. Well, that one says recon by G. Roos, so G. Roos is, like I say, it's just by roughly there, give or take. It's within a few miles of each other. So you can clearly see how this mirrors and sort of got bumps back and forth to show you these, this would have to be one awful big coincidence to be able to, to make all this fit. Okay. And right on my doorstep where I live, with my name in it and the name of the decoded city, that seems to be written everywhere, and we've got more to go yet. Okay. So what is the significance of the recon bit? Well, I also noticed as well that there was when I did the last video, as well as the SOS, you've got the Colbren Bible, which is the Welsh Bible, and it's all about the dragon. Basically, the dragon comes effectively. This is Nibiru. I've got well, it is, and it basically is the destroyer. They're warning us of it to come. The Colbren is also a place in Wales, right by Resolven, funny enough. Well, we are resolving the Colbren, because Colbren is recon, it is B recon L. Now again, this L is important because, right, it's going to get complicated, but let's do it. So we've got Colbren, we know it relates to the dragon. Bear in mind that the Cauldron, which is the other one, just up by here on those stars that I did, this Langstone, Park Seymour, G. Roos is down there, whatever. And in order, Kenny's commanders there. Well, this Cauldron roundabout is Draco L, which is also relating to the dragon, and we've also got the L again, the B recon L. Well, this connects to the dragon of the Colbren Bible. It's also a warning, and I think it's an eye for an eye, a dragon for a dragon. To remove the dragon, you use a dragon effectively, and the dragon is known as the destroyer, the dragon. That's what it appeared to them, that they appeared they were being attacked by a fiery dragon. But there's a warning comes from this L, and this L drop into somewhere else. Right, I know this is complicated, but if you can follow it, it's beyond coincidence. Right, Park Seymour, with Park Seymour, right, the word recon keeps dropping in, and you got Recon G, which was written in the Solomon, the King, the Wisdom of Solomon code, which gives you Recon G as a code. Well, the G is obviously G Roos. I recon that, and it's telling me I'm the G as well at the same time. So you've got the Recon G. Then you've got right. Well, the Unicorn Mon. Right, is basically Monoceros is the star system that sits onto Park Seymour, Marco by G Roos. I'm the unicorn in Mon. Now, it's written in Monoceros. You've got Ceros, which says, so, M-O, and then you've got the Draco L as well, or just Draco itself is Duark. So right, but they're getting too confusing. You'd have to go back on the other video, but it links basically with the links being Catsash, Draco. So where do we arc? So we do arc in Monoceros. We put the arc in Monoceros, which if I wrote the arc in there, it would say so Marco Recon. Now there's a reason for this being the Unicorn Mon. Right, I don't understand the complete thing with this, but when I put Pegasus on Bethlehem, because it's B the metal H, and it also has the lyre at Bethlehem, in the other video, I say it struck me, it obviously came into my head. Right, okay, so you've got one mythical beast that's telling you that there ain't no Jesus coming out on a winged horse from the sky. This is the Pegasus on Bethlehem, pegging the sus of Jesus, which is a guess. And you're guessing that this winged horse is going to fly through the sky with Jesus on it and save mankind, which is not going to happen. But what I got, I can't quite explain how this works, but basically, what I'm getting given is like, well, if you're going to say that that's a mythical beast, what about a unicorn? The unicorn being that's not a real one either. So maybe that's not right. Well, in answer to this, this is what I get, as bizarre as it is, the unicorn takes me to water. When I go in, so Marco Recon, this relates to Park Seymour as well, by the way, that's the point for it. Park Seymour, right. Okay, right, sorry, just getting distracted a bit there. So Marco Recon is the Unicorn Mon. That's what Monoceros is known as. Like I say, drop the Duark, Draco in, blah, 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 right, get that. So the unicorn goes to water. Okay, so in the water, you look, this is what I'm being shown. The unicorn looks in there and he sees the real unicorn. Or the real unicorns that carry a message, and this is where the Cobran Recon L, the Recon L connects to the unicorn and the Draco L as well, because what he sees in the water, the real living existing unicorns, or they are called narwhal whales. Okay, and I don't know what they look like. Not very good at drawing, but this is what. And I kid you not, they got this ginormous horn on them. And I'm going to show this as well. That's the whale, the unicorn whale, right? Now what this is to do is like hidden in this, and this is what this is about, and why the Recon is really showing, because there's a message within in this word. Okay, and the message is, well, firstly you blow a horn. So there's your blow, there's your horn. The unicorn blows the whale blows the horn in Sion, which is Sion as well as me in Sion. So me and Sion blowing the horn, I guess. But what it is warn all. Oh, sorry, we got H, because I'm the H man. Warn W-A-R-N-A-L. And then we've got, obviously, then we've just got the W-A-L-E-S. Okay, it's not complete because this is with the Cobra, because it's warning of what is coming with Draco L, the Dragon, and the B-Recon L, which is all the warning about Nibiru coming, and this is what the end game is. But I'm warn all whales. Now, it's not warn all whales, as in the people of Wales, it's warn everybody in the world, basically, that Wales is where the safe zone is. And that's what this is all about. And then, and I'll show you where something that will back this up now as well. Because, well, in fact, let's do that one now. Yeah, let's do that one now. Okay, to back this up, the chambers of the south, which all this is like, all these chambers of the south are a hidden cryptic tied up message, but basically the furthest place down that I've been given as a decode for this, obviously for this time with this trigger, is a place called Shaftesbury. This is I noticed it's the Shaftesbury as well, because that's significant, the Shaftesbury. So buried in the shaft of Shaftesbury is the message that, where are we? Right, it's safety B-H Roos. Obviously I'm the H man, Roos is G Roos, and safety B in H Roos. So again, that's the lowest part of this entire message that all connects together to give you this warning. So the Cobra is the warning of Nibiru, and that's why it's B-Recon L, ties to the unicorn, which is the unicorn Mon, which ties with the Recon of Monoceros, so Marco Recon. You got Recon G as well, which is Recon G Roos. Well, it's telling you that the safety B in H Roos, H is just the same as G, HG is the same, and that's where the safety lies. So when things inevitably go pear-shaped, and it isn't yet, but we'll know when the time is right, and you'll know where to go. And just incidentally, across the water as well, you have a place called Gordano at the top of the chamber, or the chambers of the south. Well, that is O'Dragon. So as a title, you've got the dragon as well there. And obviously that's what we're talking about. The Nibiru is known as the dragon. That's what it was known as in the Colbren Bible. So as you can see, I'm pretty confident to say, or I would hope I could say, that this, I'm just checking I haven't missed anything. Dragon, Langston, yep, Marco Roos. Oh yeah, that was the other one as well. There was one other as well, another enigma. Where I am, oh yeah, this one so connects as well. I think they're looking at it. Right, okay. Right, okay. Right, right. Where I work is Corsham. That's where I am right now, which is Marco's H. It's also built, it's Eastleigh Corsham. That's what it's called, Eastleighs. That's the place, Eastleighs Corsham. Well, Eastleighs is, yes, Atlas as well, so you know, just to tie it up, so there's no coincidence there. Yes, Atlas. So it's just telling you, but obviously the Marco's H goes in a different direction. But what I did find, and I couldn't get, again, this is weird, because this was the other thing that kicked me to look at the recon, and I know something is telling me. And this place, right, there's two places, right, where I'm, I shouldn't really tell you this, I don't think, but what the hell, yeah, let's just do it. Right, the company I work for is, or I'm working, I'd say work for, we subcontract into them as a company, but Octavian, this is old Vatican. They're a wine storage facility in an underground bunker. I should tell you something. So you've got the wine cellars, which is a phonetic wine cellars, because they are the wine cellars, and these are all behind it all. These are as much behind it as all everything. You know, these elite families. This is the control religion. But this is an ex-World War II bunker. So when you put the pieces together, you've got Vatican wine cellars, bunker. I think that probably tells you. But the Wraxall, which is not a million miles from you either. In fact, it's quite near to where I. Yeah, right. Okay, the Wraxall, which is war X all and fail. They don't fail to start a war. They just fail to X all. That's what it is. Because this is hopefully going to get people to start turning to Yah, getting right, just doing your best and just be aware. But where this, anyone watching this now knows where the safe zone is. And if it's coincidence, well, it cannot be coincidence that, I know all this, because it just isn't. Okay. But near this Wraxall, which is war, X all and fail. Not far from there is the other Vatican place, or the Octavian wine. That was not a bunker underground, but it's in a place called Cologne. And this one, and it's also near Box, incidentally, which is quite funny, because not only is this is Recon L. You see the L with the four-faced angel. Well, that also says be the ox as well. That's the Marco-Manoid tribe. But it's also the bow, cleverly done as the bow X. Well, the X of the bow again is. Hang on, that's not right. Well, my bow X is also in the safe zone because it's Lamelin. That's where the bow X is. And you've also got places like Bowers Hill. There's a few, the number of Bowood House as well, which was ironic on the way into work. I noticed that one. But you've got Cologne, Recon L. This goes back to those other codes where you've got the BOX, well, that gives you the L, and the Bow X also gives you the safe zone, because this is where Solomon's safe zone is, made up of combined nations, and this is why the Y in Cancer overlaps it as well. Okay? And in fact, this star, I think it's a Cellus Borealis as well. I think it's a Cellus Borealis. Okay, that would be the star on Orion's bow. I think it's Orion, it's either that one or it's on Cancer, but they're actually both Borealis when you overlap them. Well, that one is a sell us, a bow is real. So I'm selling you the bow that's real, and the X of the bow X. There's the bow X. That's a mess now because you've got the Y over it as well. But all these things all come together onto Solomon's safe codes. It is made up of the I key. You've got which is made up of Cancer again, which is the Cancer's constellation. This is why the Sun and the Moon sign in Cancer is the one who finds it. It's you've got a star there. You've got a star there. This is Cancer. That goes to Holy Head. That fits on Holy Head. This fits on Wind's Nod, Swindon. I won't do it now. Swindon. This fits on Exeter, Egypt. And what you get is the Canaan, Egypt, Judea, or Holy Head, but it's Judea it is, which gives you a K-E-Y, Canaan, Egypt, Judea. They're the real names, these biblical places that have been hidden and changed. But this is the code in it, and in the middle you've got the I key, which is the I, the I key being Israel, or sorry, it's not Israel, it's Israel, the land of Israel, which is where the safe zone is. And these two stars, one sits on Lamelin and the other sits on G-Rus, but they all connect together. Okay, I know this is massively complicated, and I'm hoping everyone keep up with it. But even if you only get some of this, I'm pretty confident. Well, I really hope that people are taking this in, and if you can spread the word, regardless. I know all this about the H-man and what it, well, I don't know what will make of it all, but who cares? Titles are titles. The information is there. I'm proving beyond reasonable doubt this is all, and I don't need any faith. You can believe that what is the New Testament was written. Well, I can tell you now, it was written together in this, it was written together and pieced together, and it's a complete deception. The whole Jesus thing is not true, but they've got you sitting waiting for this great deception to arrive, and we've already been bored into it. It's been here for a long time, and this is unraveling that deception. But it's doing it in a way that Yah's not leaving this to faith. I don't have faith. I don't do faith. When there's even times now I think I have to go back on a few videos just to remind myself how impossible this lot, everything that I've done fits together, because it just it's crazy because it makes so much sense, and that's what it is. But it could not have been done by anybody but the Creator. And for me to be doing it as a security guard sat now doing the night shift, it should never happen. I'm not educated, and I wasn't religious a year and a half ago. I didn't know any of this, and I had no clue. But I don't know how it's done, why it was all set out. My name seems to be everywhere. I seem to know all these things quickly. It's not possible that this cannot be anything but the work of the Creator. And his name's Yahweh, and he's real. Oh, he lives, all right. He does live. He really does. And this is all planned out. It's all coded between the Bible. It's coded, the Old Testament, which is the Gold Testament, not the Old. It's all coded in there. And I don't know, all these stories in there that seem irrelevant, and I can't even get to grips with it. I'm not gonna lie, but I just know to use it, and the only place for a cross in there is to cross-reference it, and that's what it is. And it's cross-referencing by, like I've just shown you with this passage that puts all these stars and then names them to places, all coded in the Solomon stars and the Sun of the Moon sign in Cancer. Is it all? How can this all be coincidence? I ask you to. I mean, we've got 91. I think I've got 93 subscribers now, and I know people will look away from this. Christians are not going to like what the message I'm giving, but just know there is no historical evidence for Jesus other than one book that could have been written by anyone. They could say the same about the Old Testament, had it not that a million things in it that are now connecting, and it's proving that that it's clearly there for a purpose, and it's not. Well, it was, it's not written by man. The Romans, or the Atrebates, or whatever they're called, they've written it. They've created this whole, and I've got more to come on this, because even the name Christianity itself poses the biggest question, and I won't go into it now because this video will be forever, and I'm going to have to start getting ready for lorry or fans coming in shortly. But I hope you enjoy the video. Please stay strong. I know there's bad news in this, but there's also good news, because if you're watching it, you know where to go, and it's not to move. You don't need to move house. You'll know when the time comes. You will know. There'll be, it'll be obvious the time to move. But you'll find this. At least you know. Don't forget the name though. Kaya Went, because that's where it is, and this is the name. This is the most important place where the care went once, and the G went. The Kaya went is the G went. The care went, but Yah's coming back. He says in the place I told you, you're not my people, and I will not be your God. I think it is, or words to that effect in the Bible. I will tell you that I will be your. You are my people, and I will be your God. So even that is written in there, so that all for me to find and pass on the message. So whatever you do, even if you put it in the back of your wallet, your purse, or whatever, don't forget this name, because it's going to be relevant at some point. How long in the future, I do not know. All I can say is that when things like SOS and I'm not looking for it, it just appears, and it keeps coming up in these codes, and then you get safety, safety H roost, or whatever it is, Shaftesbury. It all adds up to the same thing. It is not coincidence, people. Please take note. Pass this, share this video. Please like, if you. I know I'm terrible for not liking videos, but it really would be good to see what people think, or you know. And I apologise. There's one guy I didn't answer your messages or your comments that you left. If I'm honest, they were more statements than comments. So I have no answer. I don't know how to answer it really, but yeah, I won't go in. I'm not going to go into it. But they were just you were making statements that I couldn't answer. But ultimately, I didn't know how to answer, and that's the truth. I really didn't. And I know you got your sort of ear off, and I think you probably jumped off this channel. But either way, I'm not going to ignore comments, but I can answer questions as best as I can, and you know, on what I've been showing, if anybody's got them. But like I say, if we're going to make a statement that you're the Messiah, then there's not much I can. What can I say to it? I mean, you need to prove it. So that's it. And if you really think you are, and maybe you are, I don't know. Secret H. I mean, I've given what I've got in code. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. But you know, if you've got evidence that you are the H or whatever, please, you know, I'm all behind you. I don't really care for titles or being anything. All I'm doing is being a vessel to pass on this message with the hope, and I really do hope that people take it in, and that, you know, when the time comes, we'll all meet up and, you know, and live happily ever after, literally, because that's what's at stake. Anyway, good night, folks, and please like, comment, and share. Thank you.